Hello, welcome to Filler Arc episode 35,
The Return.
42,
Something
69, 80.
As
Where
you
are
can
we?
see, they couldn't find any guests, so I'm filling in.
Wait,
Normally I'm the guy
Okay.
setting
Can I
up
just
these
explain?
podcasts.
Life has been very hectic. I haven't had much time to watch anime actually. TwitchCon is coming up too, and
Yep.
I am been very. So, Filler Arc Inc. is actually changing infrastructure. We are laying off about 85% of our employees. There's
really,
going to
really
be
sad.
some wage cuts too. I've
Been writing letters to families all day.
It's
Aren't
just
you guys
very
the only
difficult
two
time. Shut
employees?
the. Okay, we have our guest today. It's. Why don't you introduce yourself, Albert?
Hi,
Chang?
my name is Albert Chang.
I got it.
Yeah.
What was that? What happened there?
Normally I'm the one that's setting up the cameras and the microphones for these things, but yeah, like I said earlier, they're running out of content, so they're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yikes,
And
guys!
the best they could get at such
Wait,
short
no.
notice.
Albert's actually a very good guest because he watches anime. His favorite anime is
Not Fruits Basket. Chihayafuru.
Chihayafuru. Yeah, it's an anime about a card game.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you like it?
Oh, we're just getting
Are
right
we
into
Are
it,
we
huh?
just diving in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's dive into it.
Okay, so I don't like a lot of popular animes.
Look
at that dirt off your shoulder.
No.
Shoulder over there.
I think a lot of shonens I just can't get into either
You watch My Hero.
because I think My Hero is one of the most polished iterations of that genre. It basically took lessons from Naruto, One Piece, Bleach.
Wait, what do you have against Naruto?
I think Naruto, if it was released as it was now, I don't think it would be that successful.
You think so?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
well, not if you directly ported it, but I imagine if Naruto got
Polished
re-released,
anime?
Yeah.
it would have been like My
I
Hero.
think it would have been
without
like My Hero.
fillers, without like the nonsense, and with the execution of animation like My Hero. I think
Yeah.
Naruto would have popped off.
Yeah, I'm saying like if it were to port over as like it is now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It hasn't aged well.
It
You
hasn't
remind me of the bug guy from Naruto.
Shino?
You know?
And you remind me of the Orochimaru assistant.
Everyone
so,
says
with
that.
the glasses.
Why?
Guys, who do I remind you of?
Kabuto?
Terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kabuto. Who do
Kabuto.
I remind you of?
From Naruto?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to
Wow,
say it.
there's-
There's nothing good here.
Okay,
Lily, turn
alright,
back.
never mind.
I also
Okay, go on.
I also feel like the female characters in Naruto weren't super
They
well written.
weren't well written, yes, I
Like if
completely agree
Hinata
with
was
that.
like the best one, she was kind of a,
She was doormat Chan for
Yeah,
the first few years, right? Yeah. I
and
know.
even at the end, she's still like kind of doormat, but
but better
in
doormat.
support of like her husbando.
Yeah.
But she got the guy though. Like I was very surprised she got the guy because usually in that scenario, she would have gone for Sakura or something, right? But why are we talking?
I also feel like Naruto, the ending was like the ending of Harry Potter. Like we're gonna just wrap up all of these.
and
love
everyone's going to have babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babies.
Every
Lots
single
of
person.
and the babies are the exact like perfect hybrid
Yeah.
between the
Of the
parents.
two parents.
Yeah.
Salad or the Sarada.
Oh yeah.
I was like so surprised Sasuke had and Sakura had a kid. That just like came out of the left field for
Yeah.
me.
There was I remember watching a whole episode, just like randomly like looking for episodes from Boruto.
Yeah.
And it was like the one where he like tries to be a better father.
Yes.
Oh,
It
that
was-
one was really bad.
Yeah.
That was that.
Dude.
Boruto's basically. Where are we doing? How did we get from Chihayafuru
We're talking
directly
about
Shonen.
Shonen.
animes I don't like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
explain the animes I do
Got
like.
it. Okay.
So I feel like shonen generally are too linear for me.
Yeah.
Either too linear or they have too much fan service because they know their target demographic. And then shoujo is like the same thing but in reverse. It's like too much drama and too much fan service.
Okay.
And so I really like seinen, but I think the genre I like most is josei.
Okay.
Yeah, I realize a lot of shows I like are from that like category. Like Shinsekai Yori is also like probably like
Shinsekai
10
Yori was
top
good.
20 for me.
That one is
Wow.
amazing. I watched that one recently. Loved it.
It's really
It's pretty good. Actually. It's pretty good.
if the
Animation's
animation.
god awful.
Yeah, I was like the animation
The
was
story
better.
though
Yeah.
was very
Yeah.
good.
Like
One of
it's
the best
hard
endings
to-
I've ever seen in an
It
anime.
was very bittersweet.
Yeah.
one of those there's shows you watch where the ending just makes you feel like, man,
you just think about it like for like.
Yeah, like no one was really evil here. Just this, everyone's just product of.
Yeah. Watch Shinsekai Yori. It's very underrated.
Yeah, I actually read the manga, not watched the anime.
Yeah.
God, there was so many lesbian sex scenes. Oh wait, there were just a lot of not safe for work parts in the manga.
Yeah, I think in the anime they only showed that in one particular episode.
Yeah, like the kissing thing. Right?
Yeah.
They went like ham on the manga. And I read the manga first, and then I watched the anime because I was like really confused. It's the same thing, but.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so Chihayafuru also falls under Josei, and
explain Josei.
So if shonen and shoujo are both types of animes geared towards like young boys and other ones like younger girls, seinen is anime that's geared towards kind of older males. So I don't know what older defines, but basically like R-rated, like guy anime,
more mature themes, right?
Like death, gore, violence, sex.
Gore.
Sometimes, seinen, like Berserk is a seinen, I guess.
I guess a comic got killed technically.
Technically, also, but these definitions are obviously very loose, but
they're more like suggested ratings, I guess. And then Josei is the same thing, but for I guess anime that's geared towards an older female crowd. So it's usually.
So you're an older female.
Yeah, I've discovered a lot about you already.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
I feel like in Josei it puts a lot of because there's not as much action. It puts a lot of emphasis on character relationships but like in a context that I guess more adults would find themselves in. Whereas I feel like a lot of good like shonens and shoujos tackle the same issues, but they can't do it from the same perspective as like a like college student or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. If there was an anime or manga or whatever that defined the Josei, like what is like a classical Josei that you would say is like encapsulates what you like about this style of
I
thing?
don't know. Do you think Honey and Clover is technically?
Wow, that's old.
I actually really liked Honey and Clover because I watched it around the time when I was transitioning from high school to college.
Yeah.
And a lot of those those struggles those people went through.
You have a very gentle soul, Albert. We must protect. You're like a flower.
Yeah.
In the desert.
Yeah, but Honey and Clover.
He's like, but anyways.
So I remember we talked about this before. I generally don't like slice of life.
Yeah.
But I think the ones that I do like are all like adults kind of going through their daily lives because I find it more relatable than kids just like.
You liked Watakoi, right?
Yeah. Watakoi was great.
Watakoi was pretty interesting.
Yeah. That one is probably you would say is a Josei, right? It's like.
I think so. Yeah. The characters are older than high schoolers for once.
Yeah. So I like those kind of shows where there's an overarching plot, but it's heavily focused on both like the story as well as the character relationships.
Yeah.
And not about the actual animation. I realize a lot of the shows I like have terrible animation.
Yeah, but it's about the substance.
It's about the substance. Yeah. And so Chihayafuru is a sports anime that falls under that Josei category.
Yeah.
And okay, here's my pitch, right?
He reached for the water. It's about to go down.
And I put the water down. So here, I got cards.
Okay.
So imagine you had.
Wait, have you been preparing for this?
No, I haven't. I haven't been preparing for this. You just gotta
describe it maybe for audio only people.
Audio only people. Okay, you hear this?
Oh yeah, they like
ASMR.
that. Holy shit.
Have you ever thought about doing
Could
that
you
as like
hard
an ASMR?
ASMR? Like, people would like this.
Do you feel the tingles yet?
Wait, can I try?
Yeah.
Can I have two?
Too violent.
Too violent?
A little less.
Gently.
Oh, that's it. The little tippy taps.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Anyways, so Chihayafuru is based off of a traditional Japanese card game, which is not Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not traditional yet.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it will be. And essentially, imagine these cards have 100 different poems on them. So each card has a different poem written by a Japanese author or poet, I guess. And they're mixed up, and you give, half of them to one opponent or one player, and the other player gets half. Okay, well,
technically not really.
You take of those 100, you take 50, and those 50 you
divide
give
up.
25 to each.
So half of them are dead cards who don't get played.
And then you're allowed to put them face up on your own board in whatever configuration, as long as you kind of remember where they are. And the opponent does the same thing. And they have someone who's like a reader who draws from a box of all 100 poems, and then whatever one they draw, they read the poem out. And if it's a poem that is currently in play, the person who touches that card first gets the point. And if it's on your side, you remove it from your board, and if it's on their side, you get to hand one from yours to them. And the point is to get rid of all your cards. It's a very simple game.
This reminds me of ProZD's video about this and about trying to explain this game.
Include the clip right here.
Yeah, just put the clip in. Basically, as someone's explaining what Karuta is. Karuta is great. It's like...
So let me explain Karuta. It's a game with these playing cards, and they have poems on them. Well, they're actually 100 poems. They're based on this thing called the Ogura Hyakunin Isshu. It's an anthology of Japanese poems by 100 poets. And you okay there?
No, I'm good.
And so they set out 50 of the poem cards, and then there's a reader who reads a verse, and the players have to hit the card that corresponds to the verse.
Every time I try to sell people on this, they're like,
It doesn't sound the most interesting from a
outside perspective. But
though.
it's the kind of thing where once you watch it, you sort of understand the what makes it so fun. And like most good sports animes, it's not really about the sport.
It's just a vehicle for
it's
the
just
narrative.
to drive the relationships.
And because
romance.
Karuta is based off of, or a large component of it is based on poetry, which is an expression of someone's feelings or how they view their life or society. They use a lot of those parallels from the cards to kind of reflect where the characters are in their lives.
Yeah.
Some of them more literally than others. There's literally one character who is obsessed. She only cares about it because she's obsessed with history.
I love her. She's so great.
And so they use that as a way to kind of get her to join the team and be like, yo, it's fun. You get to learn about history, because they're struggling to find players to join the team, much like me trying to convince people to watch this show.
I mean, the show, like you said, I think like most good sports anime, it doesn't have to be about the thing, but they do such a good presentation of it. The character themes are very deep, and all the kids are just kind of searching for who they are and what competition means to them. One of the characters, his name is Taichi, is one of the main guys, and he's this very handsome guy, cute boy who all the girls love him, and he's good at everything. He's got top of the grades, he's good at sports, and he's got this overbearing mom who's really pushed him to be competitive. But Karuta is special to him because his friends play it, and it was, for him, it was kind of discovering why he would want to put so much time into something that he isn't naturally good at, the other things that he's so naturally good at. And it was a really interesting sort of mental dialogue that he has with himself and with his coach and with his teammates about what does it mean to do these things, and what does it mean to push yourself like this.
Yeah, I think he gets the most character growth.
Yes.
Out of the whole show, because I think in the beginning he kind of does it with his friends and some weird romantic thing, but then I think eventually he just really becomes passionate about it.
Yeah. The honestly, so there's a love triangle that happens in here. It's the main girl who's very happy, very kind of fruits basket girl type,
very airheady.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to Karuta.
But then you have Kyo, and you have the rat boy Yuki. Yeah. And you have two characters who are kind of like that, but the romance is by far the worst part about the show.
Yeah.
Everything else is
very much a sub story, because one of the guys in the triangle is, for a large part of it, he's sort of just like a figurehead.
Yeah, like a ghost.
He doesn't. He's the legendary,
Yeah.
Wow, you really like the show.
The show is really good. I actually think it's 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Wow.
It's so good. And I'm really excited for the third season, which is coming out, which is the segue. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Segue.
I mean, we can keep talking about Chihayafuru.
I'm good,
you guys
good.
can talk about it. I've been enjoying listening to the cartoon.
I remember we watched it, but then we just skimmed it. We just read the wiki and then watched the
I
last
watched
episode.
the first episode and skimmed the rest.
And then watched
the last
episode.
Listen, time is of the essence. You know what they say. Okay.
Man,
I think you enjoyed it for both of us.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll go with that.
The
We'll
third
go with
season
that.
is coming out.
And
Are
that's
you excited?
super exciting because Chihayafuru 2 came out years ago.
And they ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So is this going to be like the final season?
So I don't know. I don't know where the manga's at. I don't know anything about that. Maybe you would
Yeah,
know.
no. I purposely haven't read the manga because I want
Yeah.
to like experience it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And not knowing what happens.
Yeah, because it feels like, ended on a cliffhanger. This is supposed to be... It feels like the culmination of, like, a lot of the big themes that are happening. And so, I don't know. It's super exciting.
Feels like the end game for that, too, because they introduced arguably the strongest player in, like, that universe.
Yeah.
So...
You have, like, fucking Goku now.
Yeah.
And he's like, we gotta beat Goku.
I feel like I'm like an outsider in this conversation because I haven't watched it.
It's okay, but you should. I would suggest people to watch it. I think it's very
And
good.
if our suggestion isn't good enough, ProZD has also stated this is his favorite
that
anime.
is someone's favorite anime. So
Yeah.
I remember that. My moon.
Yeah. Now I'm part of the trio. I joined the club. I feel like one of those like.
Speaking of new anime,
Oh yeah,
want to
so
talk about upcoming anime?
the season is coming to a close,
Yes.
and I think next season is really hype for a lot of people because a lot of big shows are returning.
Okay, alright,
My
listen.
Hero.
Yeah,
My Hero,
very
for
notably
sure.
My Hero
This arc
Academia.
is going to be so good.
Like all the manga readers have been like, oh, it's this one, and I mean, I don't know what happens because I don't read the manga, but
It's good. It does like a very standard shonen trope thing, in a way that I feel like a lot of shonens don't do well.
yeah.
I don't, like, can I spoil like just like a? It's not like a spoiler,
Okay.
like what happened.
Okay.
But you know how Korra, they do the first season. It was all about like stealing people's powers or making them into like non-benders. So
I actually haven't watched Chorus, but continue.
fine. Do you know? You know it.
I know it.
But I feel like in Korra they couldn't really do anything about it because they couldn't kill people. It was a kids show,
Oh,
right?
I see where
And
you're
so
going.
I think when they take away their powers, you don't really feel a sense of kind of hopelessness. You're like, oh, they're just gonna be fine. They're not dead, and they'll come back eventually. But in My Hero, they kind of tackle that same issue that a lot of shows do, right?
Yeah.
It's like if there's like supers and non-supers, how do you like take away their powers and make it feel significant? I think My Hero does like one of the best jobs I've seen, at least in anime.
Wow. That sounds nice.
Where you
and
watch it
dark.
and you're like, oh man, that is
brutal.
like,
So
yeah,
it's
that-
getting dark.
Yeah.
It feels like My Hero has gotten progressively darker.
and it will continue to do so.
Ooh, I like that.
I like
I'm gonna have
that.
to catch up with that.
Very interesting. I think a lot of people are excited for this comeback. So, let's see. Another anime that's coming back that's a big deal is Shokugeki.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Shokugeki.
Do people still watch
Watch
that?
the.
I
that's
heard
still-
it went Prince of Tennis.
Yeah.
I tried reading the manga. It ended, right?
I think so, right? I don't know.
It ended. Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it ended. I was not very.
Impressed.
I'm not impressed, but what's the word? It just I wasn't as hyped about it, I guess, since compared to when I first started reading Shokugeki.
Yeah.
I used to like keep up with it a lot, and it just got really like out there.
I got fatigued a little bit from
Yeah,
kind of the
maybe
same
that's the
thing.
word, fatigue, yeah.
It kind of outlived its welcome a little bit. Like I get it, it's like shonen, but for cooking. But then it was kind of like that's
Same
kind
thing
of
over and
it.
over and over again,
Yeah. So yeah.
Something about her father and like it's just a bunch of shit. I just watch it because I want to see good food and like them talking about the good food in a very excited manner. That's literally the only reason.
Excited manner might be underselling it sometimes.
Yeah, like literally clothes ripping off and
Yeah.
like just it tastes that good.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, do you guys do this when you cook or like you're making food or you're eating something? You like pretend it's like. No, okay,
Wow,
no, that's cool. That's cool.
So you're like LARPing,
I will
but
never.
cooking.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like think that when I'm eating something really good, I'm like, oh yes, the taste and this.
My clothes are bursting off.
not my clothes, but anyway.
I do that when I eat, but I just like to watch other people eat. I watch people eat food that's better than what I'm
He
eating.
puts on the food shows on Netflix or whatever, and then just like eats his.
Chef's table or
Yeah.
something.
Like my
yeah.
Shin ramen.
Yeah. The difference.
That's so sad.
Because I've like eaten stuff like that before, so I can imagine that as I'm eating my
Shin
thing.
ramen.
Yeah.
But Shin ramen is really good.
Really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, for what
I
it
would-
is, it's great.
Not quite Michelin star level, but pretty good.
I would do a
Isn't there
restaurant.
like a Michelin star ramen? instant ramen in Japan.
Really?
Really?
I remember I watched the was it Simply? Okay, I always forget. Is it Strictly or Strictly Dumpling?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That
Like
one
he
Asian
does
guy.
he does Mikey. So Mikey does these like 7-Eleven or like Japanese convenience store videos where he goes and tries all their food.
Yeah.
I remember watching one where I think there's like a Michelin star ramen restaurant, like they released their version of instant ramen and it's like really good. They even come with like the sliced pork.
Wow.
I really want to try it.
Yeah,
I
that
love
sounds amazing.
ramen.
I know you love ramen.
It's one of my favorite noodles.
Isn't there a ramen-based anime?
Yes,
Remember
there
about
was.
that anime?
It's like a cute girls do cute things anime, and
Yeah.
it's just like about this one girl who
I feel
loves
like
ramen.
anime, there could always be like a formula, like have
Yes.
a cute girl and doing
Do X.
X
doing
thing.
X thing.
It's like
equals-
the isekai thing. Isekai,
Yeah.
but you're a fork in the new world. Isekai,
But you're a vending machine. I know that.
just like
Yeah.
whatever it is.
I actually, yeah, anything. It could literally be anything, and they could make a really good anime about because it's not about the thing they're doing. It's about like like you said.
Hell, they made an anime about a card game that no one understands.
Exactly,
And no one
and they
can get
made it
hyped for.
interesting.
And made it awesome
Honestly,
and
when you were
hype.
describing the card game to me at first, I admit I was like, I would never play this game.
I would. Like, people on my stream were like, "Oh,
All right,
you should
let's
try
do it,
We
Albert.
make the game,
Yeah.
and then we try it.
We'll do it in English.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait.
Shakespeare sonnets.
But what kind of poems are allowed? Does it have to be
It
like
doesn't.
It's a specific 100 poems.
Yeah, but like for if you had to make a custom one, like
I think if we're to reverse engineer it, a lot of the strategy in that game comes from recognizing the first syllables of hearing it. But there's some that share the same
Couple opening syllables.
So like, like let's say like today I went, and then it's like X to the store to the whatever.
I'll write 100 poems.
You have to have. They have to be 2 lines. Okay. So there's a starting line, which is what the reader reads, and then there's a second line that we have to like guess and figure out.
I can do it.
Okay.
I can actually do
Oh my
this.
god, this is actually so hard.
Wait,
Just
I
even
have been
memorizing 100
I have
poems.
been like practicing my freestyle.
And then we'll have a big money match, Twitch rivals, Karuta style.
viewers 100 max.
Only 2 people in the world play this game.
Wait, would it be really cool if it was Twitch, but like Chihayafuru version of Twitch? So the poems are all about like the community or Twitch or the memes or something like that.
It's like copy pasta.
This is like so much work, but I love it. I
It
love
would
the
be
idea.
really cool.
And then we'll dress up in traditional
Yeah.
Japanese like outfits
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I like.
You have to watch the show for research though. And then you have to be the reader. You have to like say it in a very sing-songy voice.
yeah, there's like a kind of like iambic pentameter for like Shakespeare. There's like a
Oh, so there's like a rhythm.
specific rhythm.
I say unto thee, Omega Lo on me.
In Chihayafuru, they kind of do a sing song where it's like Harubeto kana.
Oh, they have to sing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do that.
Pepega in the chat.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Actually,
That would actually
But usually
be-
it's like the opening thing is like not the poem itself, and then after like I think 1 or 2 lines of that, then the next line they say is like the one that matters.
Wait, what?
it's okay. We don't need to make it
Yeah.
back.
Oh
Okay,
my
but-
god.
As in like it'll never be like the first thing you
So
say.
So you have to memorize all 100 poems.
Yeah.
then.
Because we have to recognize from the first part of what you're saying to the second part that's actually
This
on the
would be
cards.
simultaneously the most boring yet the most interesting
And
thing.
if you
like,
watch
ever.
the videos, it's like as soon as they say the thing, you just hear
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah, it's
like,
literally
because you want to.
hit it as
yeah.
fast as
Wait,
possible.
this would be such. Wait, do they have a live action version of Chihayafuru?
They have.
It's a real thing.
Oh.
You mean the sport or like how they made a live action of it?
Oh wait, it's actually a real thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's a traditional Japanese card
That's
game.
so cool.
It's like Go or Shogi.
You can watch
I
it
was
on
gonna
YouTube.
say you could like record your own version of it or something, but make it like more like extra, you know, like anime.
Yeah.
When they do it, they go, and then the card goes like this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
just
the
flies
card-
off, and it flies so fast it like gets stuck in like the like,
Yeah, it goes
in
like,
into the walls
yeah.
and stuff.
Hi, Tammy. Sorry. They should make a.
Is there a dog like a
She
dog
smells like-
grooming show?
No, they should make a show about just like Pomeranians.
Oh, that's very.
She
specific.
smell. Okay, smell her. Tell me she doesn't smell like food.
Oh, she smells like food.
Smell the top of her head.
Tammy's like,
Just smell the top of her head.
I literally don't have a sense of smell.
Oh really? She smells like food, and I don't.
Oh,
Oh.
water.
Oh. She does smell like
She smells like
sauce.
yeah, like she
Like,
ate something.
a
What is she? God, if dog owners can relate, if you have a dog, the number one thing that you end up asking your dog is, "What is that in your mouth?"
I love that one Kirby gif where it's Kirby with something in its mouth and it's just running away, and it's like that's every dog.
Every dog, like, what is that in your mouth? What are you eating? Spit it out. Okay, that's it. That's the dog thing.
But Timmy's so
Should I keep
cute.
her here? Or?
Yeah, there. I would pay good money for a Pomeranian anime. And then like it'll be like Pokemon where they have to capture all the different kinds of Pomeranian, like different colors and stuff. Wouldn't that be
Your
cool?
pink Pomeranian is no match for my purple Pomeranian.
Is that a pure breed?
There's only 3 of those in the world.
And like, they should go to like Pomeranian dog shows and that's like
Compete.
like
And honestly,
Sports
anime
anime.
can make
Pomeranian.
anything interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a sports anime for like dog
Dogs.
shows?
I don't think so. I've never heard of one.
Dude, if there isn't, they should do
They
that.
should get on it right
should get on
now.
it.
And then make a game out of it, make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. What were we talking about?
All right,
We
we
were
were
talking
talking about Shokugeki.
Shokugeki.
Right.
No, how about new show? Okay, new shows.
New shows, and then
Shokugeki.
Shokugeki is
Yeah.
one of them.
Another big show that's coming back is Sword Art Online.
Oh my god, yay!
Yeah,
I
wow.
can't wait. Okay, so Alicization.
Alicization, yeah.
Alicization,
What is that hard?
Man, I don't know. It started out so good.
I
And
loved it at first.
me
and
too.
then-
And then Sword Art always does this to me where I'll start watching it and I'm like, whoa, this is
Better than I
sick.
remember.
Animation's good. Music is amazing. Oh my god, alright, I'm in it for the long run, and inevitably near the end, it somehow always tapers off and I don't
Yeah,
know.
they start climbing the fucking tower, and then I get bored because they don't climb it fast enough, and I'm sitting there and they're still climbing
But
the tower.
what is this new season going to be about? Like, what is the
It's
arc?
the continuation, and
Are they still climbing the tower?
they better, because otherwise they'd never climbed the tower from last season. But it's called War of Underworld. So clearly some bigger thing is going to happen. Oh no, actually last season did end. I realized
Yeah.
they finally did get to the top.
Oh, then I did it. I remember the purple hair
Yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
remember
she was
that.
like naked. And
Yes,
fighting,
she was
yeah.
naked, but she was like secretly like old. But whatever. Go on.
Anyways, it's called War of Underworld. I have no idea. I don't know if
What does the title? I mean, the picture look like?
it looks like Saber from Fate and Kirito, and then it has Asuna, and then there's a really creepy dude in the back who you see a
He's
big
probably
face.
the
of.
main villain.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens in these.
I beg of you, Sword Art Online producers, please do not put any more animations of a dude licking Asuna's face. I'm so sick of that trope of like the evil guy being like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Asuna.
so evil.
Be my wife.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Does it
blah.
happen in the last one?
I'm pretty sure it did. I feel like in every season of Sword Art Online, there's
There's
like
like something like creepy. If it's not Asuna, it's someone else.
it's someone.
It's always a girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always a girl getting their face licked. It did happen in the last one because there's that one scene where she was tied up to the
fucking
bed.
Almost rape scene.
Yes.
Like that actually gave me chills.
That one felt like actually you would want a trigger warning for that one.
Yes. No. It was
really
really
violent.
dark. I
Yeah.
remember
Wait, it
that.
happened to. Wait.
These girls. Like,
Oh.
they were
Yeah.
tied up in bed and stuff, and the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
came.
And then it got really bloody.
And then it got crazy bloody.
Really bloody.
I was
Really
surprised. I was
violent.
like, oh shit, this is not the Sword Art that I know.
Yeah.
I liked the dark tone, but it felt like they went like 0 to 100 really
Yeah.
fast. Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably end up watching it, but honestly, I used to be like the biggest, I think, Sword Art Online apologist out there.
What happened?
And then Alicization happened.
Oh no.
Because I felt like Sword Art Online, there was like some good seasons, some bad seasons, an unforgivable season, but like, okay, it has its moments, but then it was like Alicization's bad, so then it's like 3 against 2, like 3 bad seasons versus like 2 pretty good seasons, and
Can you recommend something where the majority of it is bad?
like I can't, right? So now, if this one ends up being really good, I might become an apologist again. But unless that's the
I
case,
wouldn't
like,
mind if it became like really good. I like the concept
I
of
love
Sword
the
Art.
concept.
Really,
I think every
a lot.
gamer / person who
We have
likes anime.
fantasized about this. Like, imagine what would happen if we were thrown into like a world with MMORPG. I'd be God.
Yeah.
Albert would probably be a farmer.
What? How did they make-
I'm joking.
With like the most magical farmer.
Dude,
there is.
we thought about this.
Wait,
like,
you know there's actually an isekai where the guy
wants to farm.
wants to be a
That's
farm, and then the isekai god's like, "Are you sure? Like you could have like anything."
it.
It's
Nah,
like,
he just wants to farm, bro.
Yeah, and the guy's just like, okay, I guess I'll just give you these like OP skills for farming just to have it. And the guy like doesn't really care. He just like wants to farm. Like be a farmer.
Dude, that's amazing.
That's a funny concept.
Eventually, it'll go like full circle.
Yeah.
God.
There's also another isekai I heard that's coming out this season. It's the one where the main character is overpowered but overly cautious.
Yes. It's like they want to be an underachiever in this one, but they keep getting themselves into situations where they kind of have to like excel at something to like. It's apparently. I watched the trailer of it. It looks really funny.
Dude.
And I heard it's like really popular.
How many different ways can the isekais go?
Honestly, I think it's infinite.
There's so many. Like you can do anything.
Anything.
You can literally be reborn as a freaking
Spider.
That is a thing. But
Okay,
yeah.
here's a pitch. Okay, you get hit by a truck and you're going into a new world. Okay.
Got it.
And then you get into this world and everyone's a little smaller. They got big feet, and then suddenly they talk about these rings, and your quest now it's just Lord of the Rings, but isekai. That's the thing, is like you can just attach isekai to any story, and it's just okay. All right, you get hit by a truck, and everybody, it's like the real world, but now. Platform 9 3/4, there are these people, you know, like.
You get hit by a truck. There are no guys. You're the only male in this entire world. And then you have to get a harem of girls or something.
I don't.
Or you get hit by a truck and you're the only person that can have kids.
Oh, God. I feel like that already exists. That has to.
Someone
exist.
has to have done that.
Isn't there one that is called like? This isn't the right word, but it's like insemination. But it was like something like that, where it was literally about this guy who has to like impregnate girls for
That
power
just
or
sounds
something.
like a bad excuse for a hentai plot.
Yeah.
You know what's also really funny
What?
is a popular anime does that too. Fate, apparently, in like one of the movies. I was talking to one of my roommates about it because he watched Heaven's Feel 2, which is like a big Fate movie, and they gain mana by human sperm.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
That was in the original.
That's
Yes.
actually a thing.
Yeah.
It literally just sounds like bad excuse to
Yeah.
just like put sex
Sex
in
scenes
somewhere,
in,
But I mean,
right?
that it came from a visual novel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And the
Which is
visual
why
novel
there's-
had ecchi.
Then
That's
it became mainstream, and they couldn't like keep doing that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
you know what? The need for porn and shit will always elevate technology. We'll
Yeah.
fast forward everything.
Isn't porn the reason why like digital media became like streaming? I forgot. I know 4K happened because of streaming. I mean, because of porn.
Yeah. I don't actually know what the statistics of that is, but I do know for a fact that apparently Pornhub's video player is by far the most advanced video player on the internet right now.
All right.
And like lots of the people who engineered that like work now at YouTube and stuff. Wow. Like that's what I've heard is that like Pornhub's video player is like the best.
Yeah. Anyway, someone gets hit by a truck and everyone's a dog.
And it was a dog.
Everyone's a dog. What were you talking about?
We were talking about Sword
Okay,
Art
Sword
Online.
Art Online.
Wow, we get into some tangent after tangents. But yeah, other big. I'll kind of skim through these a little bit because I personally haven't watched these. But Seven Deadly Sins, which is a popular Netflix anime, is getting another season. So I think some people are excited for that. I actually haven't heard that many good things about it, but the people who love that show love it.
It's a very like straightforward shonen.
It's like an
anime.
above average.
Yeah, it's very solid shonen.
Yeah.
Like if
But-
you like shonen, you'll like Seven Deadly Sins probably.
Yeah. But if you're probably fatigued out of it, you probably
You
won't.
probably
It doesn't
won't
do
enjoy it.
anything that I feel like is super revolutionary.
Yeah.
But it's like just solid. You know, good animation. You know, likable
Gotcha.
characters. Yeah.
Cool. Big one that's also kind of like Chihayafuru, where the second season, there's been a long time between seasons. Is Psycho Pass is coming back. with the third season.
Okay, that
So-
one I haven't. It's interesting because the first season I thought was phenomenal.
Amazing. And then second season was like not amazing.
Like it reminded me of like that jump between like the first few seasons of Sherlock and like the last few.
Yes. Oh my
Where the
God.
first few are so good, but the last one is like I felt like they were trying so hard to make it more like, whoa, that's so amazing, like that's a crazy twist. Like they tried so hard to do that and it just felt really forced.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
but the characters and suits, like, I love the
The
character
aesthetic,
design of the
yes.
aesthetic of Psycho Pass was amazing.
I love the Dominators and how they look.
Dominator.
Yeah.
Yo, what do you think your hue would be?
My what?
Your hue
Oh, my
color,
hue?
whatever, right?
I forgot how did the colors go again for that. Okay, so for people who haven't watched Psychopaths, one of the big things that it's close to is kind of Minority Report, where it's about this futuristic society where like computers can dictate like how likely you are to commit a crime, and the computer like colorizes you. And so I think like white means you would never do something, and then you get progressively more like red.
It's really red, really red.
It's like red. It's like green to red or something.
And there's
like
like
that.
scanners like this like everywhere, and
Yeah.
it like does a really good job tackling the problem of like, can that really be an indicator
Yeah.
of how
And then
good a
the
person
people
is?
that but obviously like if you kill people or like you administer judgment upon people who are likely to commit crimes, then but that would like taint your own hue because like now you've committed a crime. So they make
like
convicts
do the for them.
the dirty work so that they don't have to like get
It's
their
a
hands
very
dirty.
very interesting.
Psychopaths 1, season 1 had one of the most memorable scenes of anime ever. That one scene where the main girl has to save. Do you know? I don't want to say too much because the scene gets set up. But you guys know what I'm talking about?
I think it's in like the latter half, but not the end.
Yeah, it's not the ending. It's like middle late into it. And
Is that when she meets like the main villain?
yes.
Yeah.
That scene is like one of the
That's funny.
coolest and like most like memorable tense scenes I can.
Yeah,
like,
I was like that. Yeah, it's really good.
you're just like, oh no.
That just happened.
Yeah. Like Psychopaths 1 for sure is
Did
like
you
a
watch
must
the
watch.
movie?
I did not watch the
I
movie.
watched the movie.
Was it?
Fuck that, I can't remember. Maybe
That's not a
it
good
wasn't.
sign.
I don't think it was bad though.
Okay.
I just don't remember much right now.
So kind of like what we talked about with Sword Art Online. I hope the third season's good. That
Me
way,
too.
like,
I really love Psychopaths. The songs
Yeah, because
are so good.
if the third season's good, then I can be like,
it's worth it.
Yeah.
2-1, right?
yeah.
Because the second season was so not good, I haven't recommended it to people.
Yeah.
I tell people watch the first
one.
Stop.
Because I think it could have just ended with the first.
Yes, it could have.
Because the second season didn't even bring back like one of the
Most,
major,
like,
one of the biggest characters in the
Right?
first season.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
was weird to me. Like he just comes back as like a ghost memory thing.
Yeah, I felt weird.
Yeah.
They just like want a hard reboot, basically.
Yeah.
Egoists opening endings.
Do you mind sitting a little bit closer?
Oh, okay.
Just because you're like a little bit cut off. Just
Okay.
Get cozy. Yeah.
There's another Fate season.
I stopped watching.
I stopped
those.
watching.
had-
Fate.
These are all
Yeah.
spin-offs, right?
There's a lot of spin-offs, but I think this one is
What is
part of the
this
main
one?
line. This one's Fate Grand Order, so
Okay.
it continues the line off the mobile game.
I'm so confused about what Fate stage.
No
like,
one
which-
knows
like,
how
I-
Fate works.
I don't. All I know about it is like, yo, Saber's hot.
They're all hot.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, yeah.
You know, one day when
make
anime
money.
becomes like a scholastic thing where people get degrees in anime, someone will have to get a PhD in Fate. It's like that's the only
Can
person
you
who will
explain the
understand.
storyline in
Yeah,
Fate?
that's
Yeah.
how the timelines work.
Yeah, sorry, I only have a master's in Fate. I cannot explain that concept to you yet.
Funny.
But yeah, Chihayafuru 3 is coming back. Another show that's like already got a second season, which is kind of crazy. It's called Boku Tachi wa Benkyou no Dekinai, which is like We Can't Study. It's a harem anime about but
I feel
some
like
people
those
are
ones are
excited.
very popular with certain crowds, which is why they get
Yes.
a second season.
I mean, yeah.
It was really fast because I think the first season literally came out this year. So.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Do you think it's one of those shows that probably isn't as hard to produce?
I think so. I think slice of life anime tends to be like way easier to animate.
'Cause you don't need
To
to
animate,
hire
yeah.
like fight choreographers. and
much
stuff
more
like
lip
that.
flappy and
I think the
stuff.
dialogue is what makes slice of life.
Yeah.
Speaking of like slice of life kind of romance one, I don't think it's coming out this season. But did you ever watch My Love Comedy Snafu?
Yeah.
That was actually like when I watched it, that was like one of my favorite ones at the time.
Yeah.
But then the third season never came out. But I heard it's coming out soon.
I heard it was announced that Oregairu would get a third season. By the way, are we good on time? Do we have to reset or
Not
anything?
this one.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Alfie,
Oh.
you wanna be on our podcast more often?
Yeah.
You're such a
We didn't have this one last time, so but now we're good. We're good.
dude. Tammy's shedding.
Yeah,
like,
she's shedding so
Oh
much.
my god, look at
this.
this.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
Dude,
Oh my god.
so much fur. How can so much fur emit from such a tiny little puffball? She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's so fucking cute.
we take the short break for Temmie.
Did I was thinking like anime. You know how like it was a meme that or us from the future and you're I actually think that would be a really funny anime idea.
Yeah.
What if
That's an anime.
that's an anime? Like, okay,
I got hit by a truck, or you guys got hit by a truck, and suddenly you have an idiot son who loves anime too
or
much.
all this time. Oh wait, no, that's like Steins Gate, I guess, where you find out your friend is actually like your child
that
in the
is,
future or
yeah.
something, right? Yeah.
It's a Steins Gate spin-off.
Yeah, I like that concept. That's like really interesting.
I always like shows that like have like time wizardry.
If we
stuff.
ever found out that Josh would be our son, abstinence for life.
Wow. Okay.
I'm joking.
But yeah, those are the main like big sequels that are coming back,
Okay.
and I think ones that people are excited for.
Let me see.
One of the things that is getting hyped, and I know Scara is probably excited about this one, is BEASTARS.
BEASTARS
Yeah.
is like the Japanese Zootopia.
Yeah,
Like a
it
darker
actually is.
Zootopia.
I
Much
read
darker.
some of the manga.
Um,
It's interesting.
The animation's kind of unique this time. They used mostly CG.
It's the
and-
same studio that did Land of the Lustrous.
Oh, is it?
I believe so.
I saw the trailer. It actually looked pretty good. You know, CG, I think in general for anime has gotten much better. And BEASTARS, when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is reasonable. Oh yeah, it is Land of the Lustrous. So Land of the Lustrous was beautiful, completely done in CG.
I liked it when the girls shattered.
That's fucked up.
They were so pretty.
It was pretty.
When they
Like, it was
die.
adorable. I'm not adorable.
When they shattered, they die.
Their deaths were beautiful.
You should watch it. I think you'd like it too.
It's pretty interesting.
It's kind of dark.
And there's so many good cosplays from that anime.
Yeah.
That's all.
The character designs are so good.
Very good.
One of the shows that I feel like is getting some press is Assassin's Pride.
Why does that? From here, it looks like Shield Hero.
It looks like Shield Hero mixed with My Hero, or not My Hero, Sword Art Online, because the main character is a dude who wields a sword, who's got dark clothes and dark hair, and the girl has the same blonde hair tone as Asuna. So
Yeah,
they
that's
just
like that's.
No, yeah, I literally look from here. Doesn't it look like Shield Hero? Like
Oh, can I see up close what it actually looks like?
it looks like
Oh,
Shield
wow,
Hero had a baby with Sword Art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
But this one is about this guy who has to tutor this rich girl, basically, to use mana more properly or something. But he's also given the task to kill her if she doesn't learn well.
And then they fall in love.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that.
like
That
it.
sounds like a.
But he becomes a softie and then like doesn't kill her.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, one of the ones that I'm actually really excited for is called No Guns Life. And this one is about this guy who wakes up. He's an ex-soldier. And he wakes up and
He's in another world.
No. Close. He becomes a cyborg and his head is replaced with a gun.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And the animation for it, the styling of it is very, it feels very noir and like very dark looking.
Oh.
And it looks awesome. And you guys should watch the trailer for it. It's one that I'm personally really hyped for because like
Wait, his
stylistically,
head's literally a gun.
it's literally a gun.
What the?
And I guess it's like a mystery thing because he's trying to
madhouse.
figure out who's done it to him and why did he become this way.
Yeah, well, normally
Who thinks of these things? I'm just like, yeah, he wakes up one day. Oh, instead of having his head, it's replaced by a gun.
Gun!
Like,
Oh
my God.
Genius!
It actually reminds me of. Have you read Chainsaw Man?
No, I have not.
It's that one is weird. It's the manga written by the same author who did Fire Punch or
I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, it's like really dark,
Dark.
where the guy gets lit on fire, and like normally the fire properties are it will burn until the person ceases to live, but his quirk is insane regeneration, so he's just permanently being cooked alive.
It's pretty dark.
And yeah, like over hundreds of years, he like learns to like get over the pain, and he's like just this man on fire all the time.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that one's written by the same guy. But that one, they have these demons that like just have like chainsaws come out of their face.
Oh my God.
Or like swords.
What?
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird.
People have some weird fetishes out there. I don't know. Where do they come up with this stuff? Another one that I'm kind of hoping for is good is actually the people who made Konosuba, the same author for that show, is writing a show called Hataage Kemono Michi. And let me read the synopsis for this. Professional wrestler and animal lover Shibata Genzo is suddenly summoned to another world. Greeted by a princess, she requests to get rid of the evil beasts roaming in this world. Outraged that he was asked to kill monsters, Genzo German suplexes the princess. Unable to get back to Earth, he decides to live a peaceful life and manage a monster pet shop.
Okay.
So-
Alright, that's like very random.
Again, isekai
Isekais,
with
dude.
some crazy
Holy
thing.
crap.
But if it's like Konosuba, I'm super down because I love the
Konosuba
zaniness.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
Very crazy.
So I'm really excited for that. But those are kind of like what I've seen and like what I'm kind of excited for next
Okay.
season.
Sounds
What
about
animes
right.
are you wrapping up this season?
I think most of the popular ones. I really
Well, let's
love
get the best one out of the way
Dr.
first.
Stone.
Fruits Basket has
Oh.
ended its first season, and I am very sad about that. They did the thing. They did the thing. The
I
episode.
haven't watched it yet.
But you know what I'm
I
talking
do.
about, right?
Well, I haven't watched the first one, but like I heard everyone talk about it. They're like, I cried my eyes out.
I almost
and-
cried. My
Yeah.
tears were on the verge.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch it and to
What?
feel.
Avi, why don't you? You
I
look cheap.
watched it too. I was like, it's alright.
He has no emotional attachment. It means there's just so much meaning behind it, you know? Like why? Like it means so much that she, you know, like alright, just go. Okay.
You know, there was a period of my life where I wanted to feel sad, so I looked up a list of saddest animes
Yeah.
to see like which one could make me cry, and I watched all of them back to back, and then none of them did it. I was really sad about that. So I guess
feel
it
like
worked.
if you're intentionally trying to look
But-
for things that make you sad, that mentality, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to
But
be
it wasn't
crying.
like a challenge. I I just like watching.
Would
sad
you say
stuff.
that the inability to find things that made you sad?
Yeah, so it worked. I was like, really sad, like, why am I like this?
I
And
just
was sad.
imagine like that one scene in Click where you're in the rain and you're like, why can't I cry?
Oh, does anyone else have this problem when it gets too late in the night? The oils from my eyelids.
Yes.
Oh, it fucking
It
hurts.
hurts. Do you want to wash your eyes or
No,
wash
I'm
your face?
okay.
Okay.
I'll just pretend I'm crying. Okay, give me something to cry about. I can cry about anything right now.
Temmie dying.
What the fuck? Oh, I know why. Okay, I was trying to wipe my eyes with my sleeves, but Temmie fur was all over the sleeve. So I've been like rubbing Temmie fur into my eyes, which is irritating it more. Oh, life is so complicated. Anyway, what we're talking
Timmy
about?
looks so happy right there.
Current anime season. Oh yeah, by the way, I did watch Demon Slayer episode 19 last
Oh.
It was-
last episode of Filler came out at the worst time. Came out,
Yes,
like,
literally right
after.
before.
And like we
sat
hadn't
there
watched
like,
it.
Demon Slayer's okay. The anime's just kind of good.
Okay, I
but...
still think it's just okay. The blonde guy is
Yeah.
so annoying, but that animation was god tier.
I think that was probably the best execution of CG and 2D mix I've ever seen.
Song was god tier.
Song, everything.
It's such
That
a
beat
good
doesn't
song.
exist in the anime, but
It's such a good song. I love that song
Yeah.
so much, and the animation was beautiful. And it's like, God, it's just everything
the
about it.
culmination of that moment
Yeah,
and
they're
how
like,
they got
Nezuko,
there.
you know, open your eye, you gotta help your brother. And he, oh yeah, blood thingy, poo, and they're like, poo, and they're like,
Oh,
Yeah, you know
just
what
amazing.
that show reminds me of?
What?
Like the obviously I feel like the animation and execution is a little bit better,
Mhm.
but like if you were to say like Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach were like the big three, like maybe 15 years ago,
Mhm.
I feel like Demon Slayer feels a lot like Bleach.
It does. It does.
oh no, it's
Very quick power up right in the beginning where he like
Yeah.
learns the breathing techniques
Yeah.
and then
And it's always this constant thing of like, oh, you find out there's another world with captains,
Yeah.
and they have like their subordinates, and you have to like beat the subordinates to get to the captain,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you find out the captains have like a bigger captain.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And then when you
God.
beat the captains, and there's like, wait, there's more enemies, and they have their own lineup of
and
captains.
then 15 years from now, people don't think back on it fondly.
yeah.
I still think
'Cause-
I still have nostalgia over Bleach. Like, I thought the Soul Study arc was pretty
No,
good.
it started
The
off.
early
it started
arcs
off
are
good.
amazing,
Yes,
yeah.
it did. And then it just shot the bed. Sorry.
As far as I know, it stopped at Aizen.
Yeah, I mean, it should have stopped at Aizen. Like, there's no reason to go anymore. I know they wanted to tie up the whole like Quincy
Yeah.
thing, which is why they ended on that. But it was like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's so dumb.
But yeah, that's why Demon Slayer doesn't like. For me, it's still I don't think it's as good as My Hero in terms of like storytelling. But obviously, the execution on like just like really basic elements is like really good.
Yeah.
But I think the story is just very linear,
The story's very linear.
and the character dynamics also seem very linear.
I will say though that now that they've introduced the captains and they all seem like very interesting, like because the show was so focused on one person, and so I felt like I was
Who
seeing the
couldn't
same.
talk to anyone.
And it's just that perspective for so long, and I was kind of like, well, okay, I'm glad like they introduced Zenitsu and Inosuke. But then Zenitsu is so annoying that I'm like,
Is the blonde guy?
yeah, he's the blonde guy.
I hate him.
It's actually so crazy that he has like one of the best pop-off moments in anime,
Yes,
and you
it's
still
so-
hate him.
I know. Holy crap.
Like, can you just be asleep for the rest of the show?
Just anytime it comes on screen, you just want to be like, okay, just like
Stop.
like knock him out. Let him
I
be
like
cool.
Shinobu.
Oh, Shinobu's
Shinobu's
awesome.
really cool.
She
She's
is
probably
really
my
cool.
favorite character.
She's dope.
Yeah, she's getting a lot of cosplayers.
I like Inosuke.
Dude, Demon
Boar boy.
Slayer is getting the amount of Nezuko cosplays I've seen already is like crazy. She's
Yes.
like, I feel like she's like,
The Rem of this year.
Yeah,
like every year
for
there's
sure.
always like the waifu 02, you know. She's definitely
She's
the
the
next one.
from
Yeah.
this season, yeah. And I gotta say, I am enjoying Demon Slayer more and more because I find it like more and more charming, especially as like they build out the world and more characters. One of the strengths that My Hero has is that like it has such a wide, colorful cast of characters that like there's like a little bit of me in like a lot of these characters, and you're like, oh, that's fun. But because Demon Slayer was so focused from one perspective, and like I don't know, he's such a goody two shoes, and like I couldn't relate.
Yeah, it reminds me of Kirito,
That's
where
right.
it's like their problems are very like protagonist problems, but not
I
relatable
care
problems.
about others too much.
Yeah, my family was destroyed by demons, and I was like, that's cool.
Okay,
It's
cool.
like they're just like a very generic
Cookie cutter.
shonen archetype,
Yeah.
and with not a lot of and like their problems are obviously bad, but not like relatable.
And then like the way you solve every shonen problem is to try harder, and you know.
I can do this, and then you fail, and then like there's like this music that comes on, and it's like, no, wait, I can do it, and you like
And
Flashback.
then
flashback.
and then like silhouettes of your loved ones, deceased loved ones come back. And
Yeah,
tells you,
oh my
you
God.
can do it.
Opens eyes,
Yes.
close up shot.
I think that's what
Don't
turned me
lose
away
your
from
way.
Demon Slayer the most. It was the genericness of it
Yes.
all. Like I couldn't.
But-
But it has its charms. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have given the first season like an 8 out of 10, and then the back half of it like a 9 out of 10. I actually really did enjoy the back half a lot more than I thought I would, considering the first half of the show.
Cool.
Okay, so that's Demon Slayer.
Okay, so
Dr. Stone.
I have to catch up with Dr. Stone.
Well, I find that show, was it the author or the illustrator that did in Sunken Rock?
Don't know.
Okay, because I immediately recognized the art style.
Yeah.
And I had been reading Dr. Stone in the manga, but I didn't like it in the manga that much because I felt like a lot of it was just like exposition. It's like, here's the scientific principle, and like let's do it. But I think watching it was a little bit like easier to take in because they didn't have to like literally write out everything. You could just like see them do it.
It's entertaining.
I think it's super charming.
It's super cute, entertaining.
I liked it because it's so unique.
Anime Minecraft.
Yeah, it actually is.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of sandbox building up, like,
Yeah,
and,
from
like,
scratch, right?
It's literally that, and I find it very like kind of therapeutic almost.
it's like watching a cooking show.
Yeah, and it's really cool to have these characters who have never seen technology react to technology. You know, like I'm never gonna go at an iPhone and be like, oh, it's an iPhone. But like those characters, like I want to show them everything. Like, look at these figurines. Isn't that cool? They can make stuff like this, and like the craftsman be like, oh my God, how did that happen? This is a battery. It makes light. You know, like I find that whole scenario really charming, and I love Chrome from that. He's like the ancient guy who's like trying to learn about science, and I love his sort of dynamic with the main scientist guy and Senku.
It's an isekai, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same world, just many thousands of years later.
It is an isekai, 100%.
If I had been born that many years later,
I would die.
I would die.
I'm actually so unsuited for that.
Dude, like, I think most of us are.
Yeah. I would have been eaten by lions, first episode.
Yes.
And
I would
been like,
probably die from hunger.
Yeah, because you think about it, the skills you need to survive in that kind of society
It
are
was
totally
crazy.
not the ones you would need.
totally
How do you
nowhere.
start a fire? You need to get food, shelter, like...
Most influencers would die first.
Yeah.
Not before we vlog our deaths!
Except the primitive YouTuber guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
And that one like
He's
Chinese
Senku!
lady.
Oh my God.
And that Chinese lady who like does like the really artistic. It's basically like like Chinese female primitive technology.
Oh, okay.
There's like one where she's just,
Oh,
like
I've
dragging
seen
like
it,
a
yeah.
bamboo. It's like shot beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, like
I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like makes a big basket thingy.
Yes. Everything is just from scratch.
Yeah.
And it looks so good.
God bless those people.
Yeah.
Save us from the stone world. It's all up to you
it's
guys.
crazy though to think that we delegated so much in like building.
Yeah, we depend so much on like our phone, like everything.
Yeah.
If like even a bit of it was completely shut down, we would be in chaos.
There's a funny TV show, or not funny, but I think it's dark comedy. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it, but it's a show about like a small percentage of the world disappears, just like out of nowhere, like maybe like 8% or something. And the show is about how even 8% of the world disappearing like that, and how big of an effect it could have on human society. Because like of those people, how many of them were like critical in the thing that they were doing, and like it was really interesting, like the concept of it. And
So what you're saying is Avengers Endgame was unrealistic.
yeah,
That
they
should have
only
messed
made
up
it.
the world
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I
half
haven't
the
watched it.
world's population disappearing would fuck up the world.
Yeah.
Completely.
Completely fuck up the world. Yeah.
Imagine if just like by chance, like one industry just happened to lose like 90% of their people, right? Just like off of pure chance. It was unlucky. Like airplanes, like 90% of airplane pilots like died. I don't know.
Or
Like,
doctors.
yeah,
or,
doctors. Yeah, that's probably more important.
Yeah, hospitals would. Ooh.
You know
Yeah.
who we wouldn't miss though? Content creators, am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we're expendable.
The one guy who was staying there, he's like, "Oh, Twitch Prime subs, get it here, baby."
The last remaining streamer.
Yeah. He's just like, "I'm king now. I'm the new PewDiePie."
Yeah. How do we get to this topic? Dr.
Dr.
Stone.
Dr.
yeah.
Stone.
Dr. Stone. No, the
Any
one
other-
that I really like is Vinland Saga.
Vinland
I
Saga's good.
really enjoy Vinland Saga.
Yeah. I think that's the kind of show where if you like the more realistic type of animes, you'd like it because it doesn't have any supernatural stuff. It's just a very character-driven story. Yeah, I always tell people it's like imagine the Vikings told from like a Japanese animation studio.
Yeah, like that show could have 100% be done like Game of Thrones style.
It
Where,
reminds me of Game of
Yeah.
Thrones,
No.
like with the whole father thing in the beginning.
Yeah, it's all about just like family and
Yeah.
politics.
Yeah.
And then you just have like this kid who's kind of been thrown into the mix
Dude,
and
that
then has
kid's
to
gonna-
grown up in like this messed up environment.
he's got some bad problems coming up ahead.
Yep.
But yeah, I enjoyed that show a lot. It's not super charming, like there isn't like any light moments, but it's very gripping because you're just it immersed into that
So
world.
if you like Game of Thrones or if you like what's another show that's kind of like that? There's literally the show The Vikings.
Yeah,
Vikings.
Which
Yeah.
I guess it's really close to. So if you like those kind of political, what else called like historical, like period pieces,
historical, yeah.
like
Historical
you'd like it.
fiction.
I still need to watch Weathering with You.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like limited time for a little bit. I missed out on it.
For next time, I will watch that.
But Josh said earlier that PROMARE came out and
Yes.
it's amazing.
What
Okay.
is that?
PROMARE is Trigger's new movie, and basically it's like the amalgamation of everything Trigger has done. It has like a very unique art style where it's like very geometric shapes. Everyone has like very jagged lines, and basically the premise is fire force. Basically, people get really stressed out and they spontaneously combust.
What?
And into these like
Demon things.
they're not really demons because they like learn to control it, but they have like an inner desire to like burn things. And so that's like one of the main characters. And then the other main character is this firefighter, and he's young and brash, and he's like, I'm the hero of this town, but he like never follows the rules, right? He's basically
like
Kamina, from Gurren Lagann. And he meets the leader of the Infernals because they've banded together because now the world is out to get them because they're like, you guys are a menace to society. And then you find out, actually, well, maybe these guys aren't so bad after all. It's like
They
what
just like to
happened.
burn things.
They
What is this called again?
PROMARE.
How do you spell it?
PROMARE.
Is PROMARE supposed to
PROMARE.
be like C, or it's not related to English language at all?
I literally have no idea. I think it's a made-up word because
Okay.
I don't know.
Is a word that's used in the show?
Actually, I don't remember.
or in the movie.
PROMARE. I'm gonna look it up.
But the art style is beautiful. The composition is done by Hiroyuki Sawano. So.
All right, I mean.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
so.
yeah,
You
speaking of Sawano, the new Riot.
Yeah.
Started,
As soon as I heard the music, I was like,
Oh, dude,
they
this
got
looks
him.
beautiful. Oh, it looks like Karen Lakan, actually.
Yeah. But it's like that times a billion in terms of like
Wait,
finesse.
you tell me this isn't
Not-
Kamina?
Right?
Literally a guy with blue hair that looks just like
Shirtless.
Kamina.
Shirtless with like
Wait,
big
like,
tattoos.
Actually. Holy
Um,
fuck, that's really pretty.
It's unbelievable. Like
Is this like traditional anime or it's like the CG animation?
it's CG, and to me, this was like the last time I felt this way about animation was
Into
the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse movie. I came away with it being like my eyes just like got a 3-star Michelin star restaurant level thing. Right. PROMARE felt very similar. Where like I got like tears in my eyes, not because it was like an emotional story, but it was like there was so much to take in, and like I was just like I had this like sense of awe watching
Yeah,
it.
because I feel like there hasn't been a lot of good CG like animated stuff, like Japanese animated stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's been a lot of great like Western CG animated stuff,
Yeah.
but so I think there's not a lot to reference. Like when we think of like CG animation, we think of like the not so good, like the budget animes. But,
Berserk.
Berserk was terrible.
yeah, where it's like they do it because of time and cost savings.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to do that style of animation than hand drawn.
Hand drawn, yeah.
But if it's done well, I actually really like it.
Yeah. I mean, again, going back to Demon Slayer, like if it's done well,
It's like it's beautiful.
it's just
super
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah. I think in the future, I think CG anime is actually the future. I know like there's such a huge stigma in the anime community about like what CG looks like, but I think it's gonna just get better. Like Vinland Saga looks amazing. That's done partially in CG.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, same thing.
Now, and a lot of the CG stuff is effects and backgrounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I know in Promised Neverland they used a lot of CG for like the
Like
the
there's some,
perspective
yeah.
shots,
Yes.
where it's like they're walking, but it's like all of that environment is CG.
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
but except the door or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that's like 2D.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But as like things get better, when they like are able to mesh the blue and like blur the lines better, like it's gonna be amazing. I think.
Cool.
Yeah. What have you guys been watching? Anime in general? Is there anything else that you guys have been watching?
Recently, I mean, did we talk about Fire Force at all, or did you guys talk about it last
Oh,
time?
okay. No, we should talk about Fire Force because that's wrapping up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fire Force, but PROMARE came out and that's just way
better
better at the
Fire Force.
firefighting. Like it's just.
I want to watch PROMARE. That
Where?
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Is it? Do you know how long it's airing for?
I think it is limited. So
No,
like.
I've looked it up. They still have tickets and shit.
Yeah, I would be down to see it again. I think that movie
Let's
is.
go tomorrow.
I actually would be down.
Tomorrow? Maybe actually, yeah, okay. We'll
I
see.
will watch it again. But yeah, it's just like I watched PROMARE without knowing anything. I was like I had no idea about firefighting. I sit in and the first scene happens. I'm like, oh, it's Fire Force, but better. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of shows like that though. It's always like, there, you got some sort of like law enforcement thing with like supernatural powers.
Yeah.
And then you got like these like deviants who will just spontaneously transform into the manifestation of like some sort of deviant desire.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like so many of them like that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a vampire story, right? It's like the vampires are the deviants, and like the
Yeah.
good guys have to beat the vampires.
Yeah, but you got to figure out. And Parasite was the same way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like you just got human looking things.
That fuck people up.
Yeah, yeah. But normally you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Want to answer questions?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
do
okay.
questions.
Q&A time.
So we have, for those who don't know, an email. You can email us questions at thefillerarcpodcast@gmail.com. Questions, concerns, compliments to Albert. Any of that is okay. So, I wanted to ask whether you had seen, what, I can't even pronounce this. Lord L. Mello.
Oh, Malloy. That's the
Malloy 2 case file?
that's a Fate spin-off.
Oh,
unfortunately-
I've never heard about that.
That
Never
one
heard
just
of it.
aired this last season. I did not watch it because I'm just not part of the
Into
Fate
Fate
universe.
Stay universe.
I will eventually take a stab at
At
Fate.
Fate.
I will let you guys know. I will
Alright.
study. I'll get my PhD in Fate,
yeah.
and I will help you guys earn your bachelor's in Fate,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it. But there's so many spin-offs.
I recently got very interested in the Japanese voice actors. I enjoy finding which characters are voiced by the same people and can't help but imagine if the characters they voice switched universes. Did you guys ever look into the voices behind the characters, and if so, do you have your favorites?
Yes, actually.
I do, yes.
I used to not really pay attention, but like over time, especially recently when I've been watching a lot more anime, like there's just people that you're just like, oh my god, I recognize that voice. Oh my god, I recognize that voice. And some of the people that come to mind, Kana Hanazawa is like.
She's my favorite.
She's
Is
amazing.
she the tsundere expert?
She's like the.
She's not the tsundere.
She's
Okay,
actually got quite a range.
There's 1% know that was like really known for like those characters. The one just the tiger from Toradora.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yes, I know
Where
who
she
you're...
plays this.
Ria Takahashi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
I love her too.
She's cool.
Yeah.
She's like so simultaneously like cute but furious.
Yeah,
and I love
like a little baby tiger. You know, like. Yeah.
Like Taiga's like the perfect.
Yeah.
Thing
Taiga's
of that.
adorable. Would you date Taiga? Would you date Taiga? No?
I'm sorry.
My opinion on tsundere is they're fun to watch in shows and movies.
You don't like tsunderes?
Because they're like, because you like to see someone, because those characters inevitably have to go through character development.
Yeah, and they drive the story.
Or like they can't function in society. But like actually dating one is like dating someone who has like not totally functioning social skills.
Yeah. And like crazy amount of emotional baggage.
Yeah. And it's like, it's something that I think is fun to know someone that's like that, but to date them is like a full-time job.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, so I'm kind of part tsundere a little bit because like
Tsundere as in like
They're
just trouble
but-
expressing.
yeah, they're just bad at communicating.
yeah, especially on the emotive side. So
Yeah.
like
But
I
so communication is important for relationships.
that's true.
Well,
Very
you
true.
got you want okay, alright. Well, really good relationship advice over here.
And relationship advice through anime. Anyways.
Yeah.
Don't date tsunderes. Well, unless you
And
like that kind of
unless
shit.
you want to be the character that makes them,
No,
There.
actually, that's the worst relationship advice. Like dating someone to try to change them.
Oh, that's like
work to convert.
word to the wise. People don't change. No, the people rarely like change
core
because you,
values
yeah,
are
unless
hard
you
to
want
change.
them to change it. You can't change people. Is what I'm trying to say. Hi from the UK. You should get Travis Willingham, the voice of Roy Mustang, on the show.
Ooh.
I listen, buddy. If I could do that, I
Yeah,
totally would. Okay.
we need that clout.
I'm
Okay,
trying
come on, Lily.
I'm trying to become a voice
Yeah.
actor so I can like get that clout so I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
invite
yeah.
them onto my show.
Yes, thank you.
500 IQ. What are your thoughts on Oregairu season
Oh, we were
3?
just
We're
talking
just
about
talking
that.
about it.
I think the first two. So it's a very interesting show. Do you know anything about it? So the main character is your typical main character, where like he like ends up needing to solve all these problems at school, but he does it in a very like non-traditional way. Like most of the time, like the characters are sort of goody-goody, and like they try to do it in a way that like makes everyone happy. But he does it at the expense of himself. Like he just doesn't like drama, so he will like make himself the villain in order to solve problems. Like it's like, I'll just be the bad guy. You guys can hate me, but then at least you guys have
will- yeah.
you'll be
I
fine.
see.
But then he ends up becoming like really good friends with people in like this like it's like a volunteer committee, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't like seeing him like kind of take it on himself in order to solve problems when he's obviously not the one at fault. And so he like learns by finally having friends, that he has to like balance, like he needs to worry about their feelings as well, and not just be like, I'll take it on because no one cares about me.
He was like, when Oregairu came out, it was really one of the first times we had a main character like that. Like,
see.
he's very anti-hero. He's very observant and like he's kind of nihilistic almost. Like he has this kind of shitty look on outlook on life, but it's also kind of charming because like a lot of us have negative thoughts like that about the world sometimes, and he's like the epitome of that.
I see.
Yeah, but
Oh, I never heard
but
of
then
it.
from the first season, it's very episodic, and then second season is like when he's like finally starts to like understand, like what it's like to like have meaningful relationships, and like he in the end wants to be like a better person, a better friend, and it's like very endearing to like watch that progress. So it goes from like this very slapsticky. Is it slapsticky? Not really. But it's more comedy, and then the second season is just like, wow, that's not funny, that's just sad.
Yeah.
And it ends with this like huge cliffhanger, and it's been like 4 or 5 years
People
since
have
the last
been
season.
begging for a new season
Yeah,
for
it's
so long.
it's good.
I feel like you guys really like the anime where it explores like just being human, if that makes sense.
Because I think that's one of the so I took some, not like a real class, but I got like a explanation of screenwriting. And one of the biggest ways to get like a big emotional feel out of someone is to talk about the human condition. And like I think those are more the seinen and the josei. Like those themes tie in more with that, and I like that.
And the only exception is I only like it when there's like a general like direction that they're going. Where some slice of life, it's like there's no like end goal. It's it's literally just like you just get a snapshot of like a day in life, and then it's only a few episodes about like one event.
I know you do. Yeah.
But usually the ones I like, it's like slice of lifey, but there's like an overarching goal that they're all trying to get to. And as long as I know there's that, then I'm in.
Our life is like a slice of life with an overarching goal.
Yeah, to death.
Well, okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
This is this email title. Talk about to love Rue, cowards.
Oh my
and then the content, it just says love you, Josh.
What? I have read the manga. I've also read the sequel to it called Darkness.
To love, isn't that the Lala?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
La
I don't. Yeah.
Is that the super?
It's pretty. It's very harem-y. It's very
It's
edgy.
super harem.
But it's cute. It's really cute.
Josh just likes cute things.
I really do like
cute girls doing cute stuff.
Have you watched Achin Demi-Human?
Oh, I have. That's it's a little bit like.
Which one is that one?
It's the one where like the guy like is like a half demon or whatever. There's like a guy that creates demons, and then one of the main characters like becomes. I think it's one of those ones where like the main character is like partial demon. I think, but like still like more human. And then there's like
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. So.
I know it's like kind of fucked up where like he gets captured and then like scientists experiment on him, but he like regenerates because he's like this supernatural being, and then he like hates like humans and starts killing. I don't know. It's
okay.
Oh wow.
Right.
It's like that. It's like that kind of show.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't watched it.
What are your opinions on idol anime? Example of this Love Life Idol Master Aikatsu Bang Dream many more. The idol anime community is pretty big, also really scary and toxic, lol. So I was just wondering on your if you say they're scary and toxic, I love idols.
Idol anime is one like genre of anime that I haven't really watched. The only thing close to it that I've ever watched is Zombieland Saga.
That one was like a parody of
exactly,
it, right?
Yeah. It's like a deconstruction satire of it, right? So I haven't gotten into. You know who actually surprisingly loves this anime? ProZD. Yeah. He loves Idolmaster and he plays the gacha game and everything. I've heard good things about some of these idol anime, and sometimes I heard that like the story's actually good, but
are they like a connected universe for some of these?
No,
or
I don't believe so. No.
It's just cute girls being idols.
They're, like the whole journey is like them trying to be bigger idols,
and each girl has like their own like personality and like aesthetic kind of. And it's like, I'm part of a virtual idol group.
Good for you.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I wanted to ask what you guys think about younger anime viewers, because I feel like there's a lot of stigma associated with being a young anime fan. P.S. I'm 14, and my favorite anime of all time is Clannad After Story. Aww, you sweet soul.
You're not even old enough to...
What?
Supposed to be watching some of these shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what...
It goes on.
Okay.
I bought a Nendo, Nagisa from Clannad. And when my mom saw the package, she asked to see it. She asked why I had... This is really sad. Why I had bought a doll. And when she saw the receipt, she was even more disappointed in me spending $60 for a doll. No. If my dad were to see it, I'm pretty sure they would worry that I am gay. I'm not. But this is the saddest email I've ever got. Listen, you like Clannad. You just like it. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean...
And there's also nothing wrong with being gay either.
Yeah.
And you're also too young to even know your sexuality yet, so...
I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of like time, you know, to figure it out. But
Clannad is an excellent anime. I applaud your taste. Don't be ashamed
of it.
Yeah, just because your parents don't understand it doesn't mean like you should be like ashamed.
But also don't use it as like a vice to like separate yourself from your parents. Like
That's true.
maybe like your parents just don't know enough about anime to
Show
understand.
them Clannad after story, they'll cry.
Yeah, I mean Clannad's a very mature story.
It's a
and
very family oriented story too.
Yeah.
Like it's super like emotional. Like oh my god.
so yeah, nothing wrong with it. You know, I thought times had changed, but maybe depending on where you are,
that's
like
very
it's,
interesting,
so
yeah.
I feel like it's almost cool now to be
Yeah,
an
it
anime
is.
viewer.
It's
Like
just
it's
so
in
amazing.
popular culture.
whenever celebrities that comes out and say I like anime, people are like,
Oh yeah,
he's cool. Like Michael B. Jordan with
Yeah.
like I
The-
like
the-
anime.
Kardashians
Yeah.
did a 02 picture.
Oh
on
yeah,
her.
every time. Oh, fucking Elon Musk
Yeah.
tweeting something about anime.
Yeah.
It's very mainstream. It's very normal. It's
Yeah.
like it's not at all like weird or anything.
Yeah,
anymore.
back in our day.
Back in our
it
days,
was a little
okay.
bit. It was
Back
a
in
little
the
bit different.
70s, okay. Let me
Yeah.
tell you about the anime back then. we got some. The only anime that was on TV when I was like super young, like Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. Those
And
were
then
the
if you
big
stayed
things.
up late, Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, Adult
Inuyasha.
Swim used to be my
Dude,
jam. 'cause of
Inuyasha was like the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yu Hakusho.
Do you like Kikyo with Inuyasha or like Kagome with Or like Sailor Moon, like which Sailor's go? When I was younger, my friends would all like be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Sailor Moon today. Okay, Lily, you have to be Sailor Jupiter." And I'm like, "I don't want to be Sailor. No one likes Sailor Jupiter in my friend group." And
cool though.
No, she is like cool, but back then like no one wanted to be her. So obviously, younger me was like, "I don't want to be Jupiter. I want to be Sailor Moon. I want to be the main character today."
Yeah.
But they're like, "No, Lily, you have to be Sailor Jupiter, or you can't play with us."
That reminded me of me playing Pokemon with my friends. Like, I wanted to be Ash. I was like, look, I'm Asian. You know, I grew up in Minnesota. Everyone's white. I'm Asian like Ash. I should be a... They're like, you're more like Brock because you're tan and you have no eyes.
Oh my god!
And I was like, oh,
Is that like?
I'll eat my jelly donuts.
Yeah.
No, oh dear, the jelly donuts. That confused me so much
As a
back
kid,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know what rice balls are. Why are they calling them jelly donuts? I was so confused.
I was like, do they have jelly in them sometimes?
Yeah,
I don't
oh my
understand.
god. Yeah, that's serious.
It's like rice and jelly,
Dude,
I guess
I
it could
feel
work.
like dubbing has gone a long way, like localization, etc.
Yes.
Cardcaptor Sakura, they cut out a gay couple, I think, and Sailor Moon 2, they also cut that out as well.
Oh.
And then Tomoya, what's her face? Madison, do you remember? I don't know. They renamed her Madison. Usagi from Sailor Moon was Serena. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
they Americanized a
Americanized
lot of names.
Yeah.
But then I'm really happy, like you know,
It
they're
is
not doing
going-
that.
yeah.
They're not doing that. That was
For sure.
yeah, it's not that hard to pronounce the names. I
Yeah.
think.
And even if you butcher
Yeah.
them, at least it's
At least
respectful
it's their
to the
name,
thing.
you know? Yeah. All right, cool.
Ah, cool. That was
Cool.
fun.
All right, thank you for watching.
Oh, wait. Okay.
I mean, that's unless you have anything else you want to add.
Not really.
You want to talk about out of life? You know, we could end on like outside of anime. What's up? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, how are you
TwitchCon.
guys doing? TwitchCon is coming up. I actually think a lot of anime fans and Twitch fans are like correlated.
No, I feel like the holy trinity for like Twitch streamers and their viewers are gaming, anime, and then K-pop.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, you're actually
Yeah,
right.
that's like the holy trinity.
Wait,
right there.
Anytime
yes.
I talk about any one of those three, you see like all these like people who just like,
Every time I mention like BTS, Lily, you can't just mention BTS and not tell me who your stan is. Who do you stan? I'm like, Jimin. Lily, do you stan Luna?
Yeah.
the Luna memes are so funny because like I guess Stan Luna, it's in itself is kind of
It's
like
just a
it's
fucking
just a
meme
meme,
at
yeah.
this point.
Yeah. And then
God.
yeah,
They're crazy out there. They
Okay,
go fucking
I remember
crazy.
Toast was talking. Remember he wanted to tweet like he wanted to tweet something controversial related to
Yeah.
K-pop just to like rile them up.
Yeah.
He wanted to tweet like, "Oh, I think BTS is a little overrated," or like something like
Yeah.
real subtly like insulting, and he actually never did it.
I still remember Hi.
Hi.
Yes.
yeah, and it's like
One of our friends, Hi, tweeted something about what was it? BTS?
with BTS, it's like I think BTS isn't that.
Isn't that great or something
Yeah.
like that? That tweet.
And it wasn't even like really.
It wasn't that
strongly-
inflammatory.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all. It
He
was
wasn't
just,
like BTS sucks. I
No.
don't know why they're popular. It wasn't even.
it wasn't like that at all. He was just expressing his opinion,
Yeah.
and like he got so much hate.
Yeah.
I also read a recent thing where this guy, he's like a owner of like a restaurant in I think K-Town,
Okay.
said something along the similar lines. Like I think another like kind of more OG K-pop group or like band
Yeah.
was over at his restaurant, and then he was like, yo, so and so came in by. Like, honestly, like I don't understand K-pop. Like I don't know why BTS is so big, and people got so mad that they like brigaded his Yelp review and just like put like 1-star reviews.
Oh my god.
Fans are like
It's
insane.
so-
Anything like that obsessive, I think, has the potential to be
It's like both
crazy.
good and like really bad.
So
really good or really bad.
apparently
Yeah.
like when they know that like idols are traveling to America or whatever, fans will buy out the airplane seats and try to like sit next to them.
That's
And
just creepy.
it's so crazy. They're called sasang fans or whatever, and like they go to such crazy lengths to like stalk their
So
idols.
it's like a coordinated thing.
Yeah, and like also another thing that they do is sometimes there are these like fan sites that will collect everybody's money so that they have enough money to do something like that, and or take VIP seats to get pictures that from like up close or something to like redistribute to the fan
That's
site.
so fucking weird though.
Yeah.
Like, in the end, idols are like people too.
People too.
Yeah.
No one would want to be treated like that, like idol or not. That's very, 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 very weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy because what's interesting to me is that the level of fandom for K-pop is so disproportionate, I think, to its fan
size,
base. Yeah, because like Luna actually isn't that big. Like if you compared her to like Justin Bieber or something, but like the level at which the fandom
The
will
passion
go, yeah, like
is way better.
uh,
Or bigger.
better.
No, sorry. I meant bigger,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
better. Sorry.
They're just so much more
Basically,
vocal.
engagement ratio is better.
Yeah.
It's like if you got 100,000 followers on Instagram, normal person will get about 5 to 10%.
Yeah.
These people are getting like 40 to 50.
Yeah.
I'd
it's
love
insane.
to watch a K-pop anime, but like realistic and gritty, like showing the true underbelly of K-pop
So you want
industries.
You want an idol anime?
Yeah, but like
Send
gritty.
it, Josei.
Yeah.
Yeah, gritty. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. I mean, it could happen with BTS. They have a mobile game now.
Yeah, and they released a song for the mobile game.
Yeah, and it's actually
Yeah.
really good.
Really?
Yeah. The song for the mobile game is actually like so good. I listen to it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, K-pop anime just feels like, and plus gaming, just like all three of those things are getting so big in popular culture now, and like I'm for it. Like have us that line with
Yeah.
everything.
All three of us have all those three.
Yeah, I remember like as a kid too. Like this is like a Korean perspective, but like Koreans were like not the cool Asians. Like everyone was like, oh, Japanese, because like anime and stuff. Like they
But
like.
I remember this too.
Yeah, and I used to feel like, oh, I wish
I
I was like,
Japanese. Yeah, no, I went through the same thing.
And like Koreans, like everyone's just like, well, you guys have like kimchi. I don't.
And StarCraft.
Yeah, I like
yes,
StarCraft.
but now it's
But now
like
I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm Korean, baby. What's up?
holy shit.
안녕하세요, bitch. like, that's right.
Oh my gosh. That's actually very interesting.
I've never been so proud. Like, I
Because
don't know.
of K-pop?
Yeah, I just feel like when people are like, "Oh, you speak Korean," they're like, "Damn, you speak Korean." I was like,
Oh, you like
Yeah,
K-pop?
yeah,
Like,
what?
always ask me that too.
"Yeah." Okay, sure.
we went from kimchi to K-pop. We're cool now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
we got upgraded.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We'll try to. Well, we're a sizable company.
Yeah.
We are laying off a lot of people and moving things around in the company.
All right, goodbye.
The CEO is stepping down. And we're just All right. Well, thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
What episode
watching.
was this?
Why are you asking
12,
me?
13, 14?
14?
Like now when I send the files to Gary, I just put the date.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be more consistent about this. It's just I felt bad because I didn't want to do a podcast without watching the anime first.
Mhm.
And I know I've been falling behind on anime, and that makes me feel. But you know what? Next time maybe we can talk about like topics like how has anime helped with your depression and anxiety?
Yeah, we could
how
do
had-
it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
like really hard hitting.
I actually have a story about that.
You know, I would totally be down to talk about like more like, not depressing.
Just
things,
like
real-
stuff in general.
Yeah, like how it relates to your life. Like I'm
Um,
sure it's affected all of us differently.
Maybe we can start talking about this, but like one of the plans for Filler Arc is maybe potentially doing these more often, and we talked like for like 2 seconds about this. Maybe having a subreddit rather than having like an email. Thing.
Yes, I think a subreddit is a really good idea.
A subreddit might be a good way for like submissions for like topics to talk about
Yes.
and like recommendations and maybe like book club things. And shit posting. Love shit posts.
After doing like the podcast for like a long time, like like a year now, more than a year.
Really?
Yes, it's more than a year.
That's crazy.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy, I think, thinking of things to say when, especially if your podcast is just an anime podcast.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about other shit too, but it's not anime related.
You just gotta use anime as
like a
yeah.
segue, right?
Yeah.
Springboard.
And then you have to catch up with anime and like be on top of like
Gotta
new
do your
anime.
homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. TBH. Keeping up with
Podcasting
season
is
1.
also a full-time
It's very
job.
hard. Yeah. And I'm not we're not just podcast people. This is like our side thing, right? So it's like, all right.
We're gonna try.
We'll
and
try our
see.
best. Yeah, I still like it. I think it's cute. I think a lot of people ask for it, like when I don't do it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Podcasts have a very vocal fan base.
Yeah. It reminds me of D&D a little
Yeah,
bit. Where
it's like if people who like it really like it and they want the next one.
Because I think podcasts in general are just like seeing increased demand because it's like the opposite of most like media we consume, right? Most of it's just like either like a couple seconds or like a minute at most, or like you just look at a picture and you go back past it. But podcast in its form is like it strips all of that kind of visual aspect and it's just about the content.
Yeah.
You have to be a good talker. Email us, leave a comment.
We'll
Please.
make the subreddit. I'll just make the subreddit.
So make this up. You know what? By the time this video is uploaded,
We're gonna have a subreddit.
There will be a subreddit, and I will put it in the description. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.